Why are you listening to him? You've seen this guy kill a bunch of people who I guess you'd call your friends. You know where the ship is. I'm assuming you can fly a ship since you're a mechanic. Just kill him and be done with it. Oh, what the? Is that a whip? What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben and today I'll be reacting to the Acolyte episode 6. Now I am looking forward to this because it has been getting better after episode 3 and with the introduction of the villain it seems interesting. So I'm definitely enjoying it more now that that character is here because he seems like a very cool character and just as a villain in general. His motivations seem a bit iffy, but I just want to see, because the fight scenes look really awesome. So now they've got this character in there, I'm hoping that I can just go in enjoying the episode with what this guy can now offer to the rest of the show. So last episode it ended with May basically switching places with Osha. Now she's with Sol and Osha is with the Master. Doesn't seem like that great of a decision considering the Master just tried to kill May, so now for May to put her twin sister with that person doesn't seem like the smartest thing to do when her sister is the one that she wants to get back with and now she's going after Sol. So it doesn't feel like the smartest decision, but it does set something up where you could basically have these two teachers try and teach the opposite students. So I'm hoping what this does now is that May can gain something from Sol and have some kind of redeemability or something going on there because she still feels like a psychopath because that is basically all we've seen from her. The whole fire thing, I'm trying to get over that because it's clear that the show wants you to feel some kind of sympathy for her, but it feels misplaced considering her past. So hopefully Sol can do something for that and maybe we can see her in a better light. And then Osha will probably end up doing some kind of weird dark stuff because now she's with the Master and we know that he wants a student. So now that his old one is gone, I'm assuming he's going to try and teach this one. Seems a bit odd, but it makes sense story-wise that you take the two twins that have basically been brought up differently and now they're going to switch places and now they're going to get different teachings. But I'm not really sure how that will work out because Osha basically saw this guy murder a bunch of people she knew, so that probably won't set them off on a great footing. But yeah, looking forward just to see what this new villain has to offer now that it's basically just him and Osha, so that'll be like an interesting dynamic to see what happens there. It doesn't seem like there'll be a big old fight scene with a bunch more Jedi like last episode. Seems much more quiet, so I'm hoping just to get a bit more on him. But yeah, as always, if you do enjoy this video, please remember to like and subscribe as it really does help the channel to grow. And if you do enjoy my content and you want to help support the channel, I do have a Patreon, the link will be in the description. Over there I'm uploading these videos and the full reaction a week in advance. If that's something you're interested in, feel free to check it out. With that said, let's just dive on in. Okay, that mirrored another time she's woken up. She's done that a few times where the camera's like followed her get up like that. That's cool. Okay, looking after you, so he definitely wants to be on your good side or keep you alive. What on earth is that weird looking creature? Nice. Because yeah, do you know where you are? Okay, May's clothes. Are you like putting the pieces together like what's happened? Do you realise who will be here as well? Okay, so you're in a cave on what looks like an island. Is this a different planet or is this still the same one that the Wookiee was on? There's a ship there, so it could, I'd assume different planet. Unknown planet, interesting, not even got a name. Can you even reach the ship? Okay, you've seen him. You also saw him kill a bunch of your friends. You want to go and take him down? Probably be a bad decision. I mean, you just need answers at the minute for why he took you.
Clearance for transmission.
Emergency code 0.
Code 0? You're actually going to be...
Repeat.
Any poor signal.
There's been a...
Sith.
My whole team is dead.
Comms lost it.
Okay, so of course that's not going to get back to the Jedi. Can you not just fly further into space where you can find a stronger signal?
I must speak to Master Banestra.
Oh, it's you.
I knew we were coming.
Can you not sense that? You could sense that, like, the other Wookiee Jedi was in danger or something was going on there. Can't sense this?
Osha, I'm going to reset the transceiver. Pick the wheel.
Okay, he did sense that. He sensed that she was behind him. I'm really hoping this is just like a ploy for him. I'm hoping he knows that it's which twin it is and he's just trying to show her kindness or something. Either she didn't just kill him though, because he didn't seem like he was well prepared for a fight and she had knives. Or what else why would she wait? Can you sense it? Have you not sensed it yet? I get it, you're probably clouded by emotions right now, but it seems like it was a very powerful thing. I still don't like this creature. It's like a weird mix between human and animal. I just wish it was just chose to be one or the other. Like, make the decision. It's just a weird in-between. Ah, and it charged Pip. Cool. So you're interested in the villain, because he's obviously leading Osha here, so what is your goal here? You've kidnapped her, you've taken her to this planet, and you want a pupil, so you're probably going to try and get her to be on your side. Don't see how that can work. Scar. Interesting. Okay, so more just skin revealing. Ready to kill. He seems like you can't kill him from this distance unless you're very good at throwing a knife. Ah, but you could take the lightsaber. Then he does have the force, so that still probably wouldn't go that well. Unless he wanted you to get the lightsaber because you have a thing for it.
How does it feel?
There we go, he wanted you to have it.
You didn't keep your own saber when you left the Order. You should keep your other elbow up higher.
And he's already teaching you.
You're not gonna join me. I'd like to put my clothes back on.
He really is just showing you everything, isn't he? Okay.
If it's honorable to kill me like this, heat of battle, it's justified.
But completely like this? Yeah. So he's trying, okay, the teaching is working well then. He's trying to teach her the weird honor system about when you can attack an opponent. But still, look at the bigger picture. This guy is just a menace. Just kill him and be done with it.
Am I supposed to be your prisoner?
Prisoner? You're the one with the weapon.
Did you kill Saul?
This is good mind games.
No.
Honesty, okay.
Did you kill May?
No.
He knows those people are important to her, so he told her that they are alive.
Seeing you ask about him first, though. He taught you the Jedi arts, but he's more to you than that.
Parental figure.
A special relationship, isn't it? Master and pupil.
That's what he's trying to do here. Why are you listening to him? You've seen this guy kill a bunch of people who I guess you'd call your friends. Yord, the other one, Jackie, and you're just letting him speak? You know where the ship is. I'm assuming you can fly a ship since you're a mechanic. Just kill him and be done with it.
All set.
Can you not tell which is which?
You saved us, Osha. You saved me.
I mean, it'd be pretty powerful if he is just playing along with it. Just give May some love.
I'm sorry.
I really hope this is purposeful.
It's time for me to face the High Council, to tell them everything.
That's what May wants. Do you know it's May, though?
Center 5112 to Pilot GX8, you are clear for transmission.
Tell them about the Sith. Kidding me again. So every time they can do something and explain stuff, other things happen.
Do you want to take a look?
Mechanic.
Give me a couple minutes.
Does he know? I can't tell if he knows or not. I really hope he does know and he's just doing this purposefully to try and show her a better side.
We received a distress call from Master Soul. Apparently he's on a mission in the Outer Rim.
What did he say?
There were casualties.
Okay, so stuff to get through.
It's faulty, but it sounded like the entire team.
Ah, so stuff to get through. What could take an entire team of Jedi? They put it together.
Prepare a rescue team to depart for the planet Kofar immediately.
How do you know where he is?
I sent him there.
So, okay, so they're going there, so they'll see the dead bodies and hopefully see lightsaber marks. So hopefully they'll put the pieces together. And how does that fit in with not knowing the Sith was still alive?
You speak as if you were a Jedi.
I was, long time ago.
I've never heard of you.
It was a really long time ago.
You're not that old.
Why'd you bring me here?
Why do you think?
Leverage?
He's already teaching you stuff.
If you keep me here, Soul comes to you. He's found me before, and his strength in the Force is very powerful.
Yet he can't tell the twins apart. Hopefully that is just him being purposeful.
That's your strength in the Force, Osha. Someone ought to teach you that.
Actually not guessed, but he's trying to teach her yet. Take the ship. He killed all those people. Okay, great. So you're actually giving him a chance. I don't get why she's curious about this stuff. She's very dedicated in just trying to get May to pay for her crimes. Why on earth would you not want this guy to pay for his crimes? Oh, wait, you shut off the power? Okay, so you know it's not her.
Relax, okay?
Okay, and you just got away? Great, okay, why doesn't he go and tell Soul? Why didn't he do that to begin with? You could have separated these two, but you went for the wrong one.
Reset your factory settings.
That's mean.
Can you run a check on the power system?
Did she kill Pip by erasing his memories? That was kind of who Pip would be. Taking his memories, just lose it, nothing.
If you were a Jedi, you know it's something you must exercise. Without training, it fades.
And that's what they told you.
That's what happens.
There's only one way to access the Force. If you don't do it their way, it fades.
There's the dark side that people can reach into.
Anger, fear, loss.
That's the path to the dark side.
Bingo, you got it. I'd still assume though that if someone just didn't use the Force ever, that it would still become very weak.
You murdered my friends.
Finally, here we go.
I killed those who threatened my existence.
You killed Yord.
You kind of threatened theirs and just took theirs away. I didn't even know you existed.
Why do you love people who can only go so far, who can't go as deep as you can?
Oh dear, no.
I'm not my sister.
Not a psychopath.
I'm
Good.
not that easily corrupted.
It seems she was kind of born corrupted.
Aren't you forgetting something?
Do not hand over the lightsaber.
You stayed here to do something. Do it.
Just ignite it and be done with us all.
Turn it on.
Please.
A Jedi doesn't attack the unarmed.
He's armed with the Force.
Think of yourself as a Jedi. They didn't want you.
It's not true,
Ignite the thing.
because I chose to.
Are you sure about that?
Let me go!
What you're feeling right now.
Zap on.
They didn't throw me away.
Then why aren't you a Jedi?
Said you chose to leave.
Why aren't you a Jedi, Osha?
Because I failed!
Oh, just do it, just do it. Off with the head, choking into the sea. Solve everyone's problems.
I understand, but when you lose everything, that's when you're finally free.
Interesting. I do like that we're now getting more into a dark person teaching a disciple. This is an interesting concept. Of course, the build-up wasn't that. But right now, I do like this. There's still like options and weirdness of why people are doing things, but the premise of actually having a dark side user be able to teach and convince someone to join the dark side and continue to teach them like that. And you're going to intercept him before we can
I ran a diagnostic. Had to restart the system. Should be 5 minutes or so.
Have you sensed it yet? Or are you just playing? I need a reveal or something. I need to know if he understands or not.
How could I not have sensed that villain's true intentions when we first met him on Olega?
Where? Oh, yes, yes.
You really want something. It can cloud your mind. You see what you want to see. He fooled us all.
So basically what they're saying is that he couldn't sense the Master's true nature because he was more concerned about finding May. I guess that makes sense. Still, if he's this powerful in the Force, he should be able to sense the darkness anyway. I feel like just sensing it would be like a little bell in his ear saying darkness, darkness, darkness.
A lot of myself in order to become a Jedi.
I'm sorry if you felt that way.
How could I feel any other way?
May, come on, put it together.
Have you told me everything that happened on Brentalk?
You are very young.
Is there an interruption coming? Feel like it's gonna happen? Seems like this is a pattern.
But I'm not now. You can tell me.
He's not gonna say it. Something's gonna happen. And the ship's back on. Who would have guessed? Okay, you really don't realise it's May, do you? That's really annoying.
Identify yourself.
My name is...
Okay, finally he's seen it. Unless he has seen it the whole... Explain yourself. Oh, do you tell him? So he couldn't sense it? There we go. Okay, the structure of this side of the story is very convoluted. You had the little rat thing that was going around trying to do it himself, didn't go warn Sol to begin with, tried to take her on, didn't work, then he finally went and told Sol, and Sol had just not realised this entire time. That is just very convoluted and could have been streamlined a whole lot better. I would have much preferred it if he was actually pretending not to know. Ah, okay, they just missed him. Oh, they just missed crashing into them.
If the Jedi had been anywhere near that colony, that could explain the large amount of casualties.
They're not going to find the bodies, are they? That's going to be how it's explained. See, on this side of things, I am interested to see how a dark side user would teach an apprentice. On the other side of things, it doesn't feel like Osha should be here at the minute. It doesn't feel justified that she would be on board with this.
I thought she wanted more than just revenge. I thought she wanted what I want.
What do you want?
The power of two.
It's okay, yeah, full Sith, great. So you down the line of Plagueis, Palpatine, all that.
Looks like someone stabbed you in the back.
Someone who threw me away.
Okay, Jedi did it to him.
Your Jedi Master?
Okay, so now he's exposing the more dark sides of the Jedi, which he didn't realise.
Handy against lightsabers, but also a sensory deprivation headpiece.
Kratosis.
Likely used as younglings.
Oh wait, it's used there?
So it's just you and the Force, and what you bring with you.
But that's meant to just drown out sense. I don't get how that stops others from looking into your head. It was meant to sort of heighten the Force ability and take away the senses. Oh, they did find the dead bodies. Cool. You know how you're going to explain this away? I mean, Jackie has like 3 lightsaber punctures through her, so it's kind of hard to deny that. I'm surprised the bugs haven't come and eaten them. It's interesting that they've just been left. Can you sense what happened here so you can realise that it is the Sith that did this? At least a dark Sith. No, he's confirmed he's a Sith.
One versus many. His power extraordinary, his skills erratic.
It basically tells you what it was.
Must leave no survivors.
Oh, bug. Oh! Oh, what the? Was that a whip?
They were all killed by a lightsaber.
Okay.
What does that tell you?
Bad lightsaber user.
A powerful Jedi has fallen.
Close enough. Okay, but lightsaber whip. Thinking about that.
That is quite the accusation.
And also incorrect. He signalled you.
Power to slay such a strong group.
Sith.
Something to tip the scales.
Sith. Dark side. Okay, so you realised it.
It's time to get back to the ship. We should prepare these bodies for burial.
Okay, nice. But yeah, lightsaber whip. Is that cool or I think I like it. I do like it. I remember Zygerian slavers, they had their electric whips that like were against Anakin. So it's cool seeing a lightsaber one. Those were more electric, so they couldn't like burn through material. I was just trying to figure out how this would work. I like there would be a lot of casualties in the training of using this kind of lightsaber.
I have no intention of harming you, May.
And let me go.
I'm gonna try and show her the light.
We have a lot to do. You need to find your master. We need to save Osha.
Save you?
You and I are going to talk.
Okay.
What I would say to you if I ever got the opportunity. So you're going to listen.
Interesting. I kind of wanted, I don't know, I was just hoping this episode would showcase the dark side person trying to train their people, and the light side person trying to train their people, in the sense that Saul would train May, this guy would train Osha, and just see like the reflection of the different teachings things. Seems like very one-sided though. Oh wait, is the metal all around? The mountain's made of the metal, so that's where it's getting it from. So yeah, this hammer is basically a sensory deprivation thing that makes you focus on using the Force. I mean, it's an interesting helmet, but you can still see out of it that it was fully sense deprivation. It wouldn't have the eye holes. Just fully focus on the Force and be one with it. Honestly, sounds pretty interesting. And so May's desire is to get closer with the Force, because she failed the Jedi. And that's what's brought her into the dark side. That feels very familiar to like Darth Vader breathing. Can she feel the Force connection or not? Oh, and it's over, okay. Okay, I did enjoy that episode. I think that one is getting better, which I was hoping for. Yes, it's a bit late considering this is like the third episode before the second episode before. Yeah, this episode, another episode, then the final. So at least now it's like kind of getting good. So yeah, I will say one side of the story was much stronger than the other side. You had Sol and May, and then you had Kaime and Osha. Kaime and Osha's side of the story was much stronger than what was going on with Sol and May. Just that it seemed very convoluted on their side. You had so many decisions that were made which could have been done a whole lot better and just smoother. You have the weird little rat hamster thing going around messing with the ship, messing with the signal, I guess. And then that thing was to take on May instead of just going straight to Sol to tell him. But then they did tell him in the end, so that makes their whole confrontation a bit kind of pointless. Then you have Sol, who couldn't even tell the twins apart, which is quite disappointing for me. I was hoping that he would be able to sense that, because even the villain can tell the twins apart. Yet Sol can't tell his own former Padawan from the psychopath that's been going around killing a bunch of people. I think what I was hoping for is that we just get a mirror sort of contrast between Sol trying to reach out to May and try and show her the light, and try and give her something which doesn't make her look like a full-on psychopath, which is what she still is. And then you have Kaime, who's trying to lead Osha into the darkness, which he's doing a very good job at. So yeah, that does bring me to the villain, who I am quite liking a lot. He seems like just a very good villain. He's very convincing, very manipulative. I like that we don't know a lot. His screen presence is very good. I think my only issue with it is that Osha doesn't feel like she's justified to be in this position yet. I don't get why she's so open to learning all this and not just straight up killing him. The last episode ended where she was going to turn against her sister and to send her to prison for her crimes of murdering just 3 Jedi, or at least she thought it was 3, it's actually 2, but just murdering 3 Jedi. She was fully on board with sending her sister to prison. Now on this place, not so, she doesn't really have that conviction. This guy killed so many more, and it's almost kind of brushed past. Yes, they mention it that Osha says that he killed Yord and Jackie, but he throws words at her and tries to convince her that it's just I don't know, for the best. It's just bizarre that she gave up that conviction so quickly but I would have preferred to see her fight a bit more. So this connection for the Force that she suddenly wants, that I think could have been built better. We've only, because yeah, Osha as a character hasn't been built enough to have these story points make sense to me. We had the one tiny little bit at the start of the show where she was trying to reach out for Pip on the prison ship, but couldn't because the Force wasn't strong enough. That was her only inkling to her relationship with the Force. Then we just got to hear that she'd left the Jedi, she's done all this, she's a mechanic now, she's looking for her sister, all that. Nothing was indicative of her trying or wanting a relationship with the Force. We've seen her wanting to be a Jedi again, but mainly for the reason she wanted to be with these people, not that she actually wanted the Force side of it. This is like the first time it's gone into that. Yeah, then we've got to look at Vanestra, who I now know is like a very powerful Jedi. I think she's like in a very high position, like high position below the actual High Council. And it's cool, the Jedi, the whip thing, that I think is cool. It's the same, like, my mind is going through the same things with the headbutting, the lightsaber, and now this. Just trying to think of the logic behind it, because like, the way it works, I'm having the same thoughts I had with the darksaber. Like, black light just doesn't physically work. Then, of course, fire in space, yep. So, I like this idea. I'm kind of hope they do more weird things with lightsabers, because it's like a very interesting concept. You don't just have to have a sword, maybe have like a long sword or like a claymore or something like that. Maybe even have a system where you can even make a polearm out of a lightsaber, where you can maybe put this metal stuff on as a glove so you can hold the light and do something with that. So I like the creativity behind it. I'm just trying to think logic, like in universe, how on earth would you train someone to use this sort of thing? Because normal whips, they are very powerful, yet when they hit like the ground, they're not going to burn it or maybe even break through it. But like this thing, if you're not like well trained, this could burn everything, and it could like, it's like the most lethal thing ever. Whips are dangerous in themselves, just like being accidentally flicking someone with it. This is now a lightsaber whip. You accidentally flick someone, you're killing them, cutting their throat, doing all of that. So it makes sense that the first time we're seeing this thing is with a very powerful Jedi. But I think just looking at the episode as a whole, much better than previous ones. I think I'm hoping this continues now. They only have 2 episodes left after this. They can't really afford to have another bad one. So this one, I enjoyed this. This was good. I enjoyed one side of it. So it's kind of 50-50, but a little more onto the good side just from Kaimir's side of the story. Soul and May's side of it felt like the previous episodes, but Kaimir and Osha's side of it did bring it to a little better than mediocre. I think one of the main things about this is just I think the writer's trying to show a bunch of different perspectives on like the Force, on the Jedi, on the Sith, and trying to explore that side of things. Yet the show is set through the perspective of Osha and I guess May, but far more Osha. Yet Osha we haven't had enough building on, so it doesn't feel like that well, but we're seeing all these concepts through her eyes. We've seen that she wants to be a Jedi, so it makes us see the Jedi as good. Then we see this guy, make it all see bad, so you're not really that open to what this guy has to say, and it means that this guy has to do a very good job at not only convincing Osha, but the audience of his position. And so far, I am not convinced on his side of it. He still feels very dark, he's not someone I can relate to, but it feels like that's what the show is trying to do, to try and show the other ways that are slightly darker, but still something you can get on board with. So far, that hasn't worked for me. Okay, so looking more at this episode, then, it's definitely better than the last couple, but it still has a few consistent problems. The main thing is Osha, the main character, just doesn't have a lot going for her, and it's now started to try and use the things that it hasn't built for her to be more of a major plot points. We haven't really seen her desire to get back with the Force and the understanding of the Force at all, really. And there was only really one scene at the start of the show where she was reaching out to Pip just to let the audience know where her sort of Force ability is at the minute. Other than that, we haven't seen her desire to want to connect with the Force again. We've seen her desire to sort of connect with the Jedi again, but that's kind of been it. There wasn't really a big push for her, an understanding for her to try and actually get back with the concept of the Force. Now they're trying to bring it in and say that it's been there this whole time and try and use it for, I guess, what the final of the show is meant to be. I mean, it does make for a good sort of story, but they need the building blocks there to make it work. And right now we don't have that. We have this thing where the villain is basically seeing through Osha and seeing the things that we should be seeing, but we haven't seen it yet. He's seeing that Osha wants a connection with the Force, and he's seeing through all these things, yet that was not obvious from the start. It's something very easily overlooked by a viewer, which doesn't work when this is the main character. But then we did get some more info on Kaimir, so we do have confirmation now. He is a Sith, and he is a former Jedi person. So, being a Sith, he must have also had a master, so that plays into the line of 2. We've had here that he wants the power of the 2, so going through that whole Sith type stuff. So I'd assume this basically confirms that he is like in the lineage of Sith that will eventually lead to Palpatine, Anakin, all of that. I think as of right now, I do really like him. He seems like a very good villain. The actor's doing a great job of just the screen presence is very threatening. All that perfect. It's just the way they try and justify or explain his motivation. It doesn't work when they're trying to make him look like a somewhat not so bad person. He's trying to convince Osha that the dark side isn't so bad while also doing really bad things. And the way he justifies it is because he wants to be free and people are threatening his existence. While when he does really bad things, maybe you shouldn't be allowed to exist, like when you go and murder a bunch of Jedi who didn't even know you existed, that calls into question this whole thing. See, his justification is very messy. I think it could be done a little bit better. So I imagine dark side users, there's an interesting story there for someone who wants to use the Force, but doesn't want to go with the Jedi, and maybe they don't realise this the dark side, or maybe there is like a full-on dark side user who just wants to live their life and do dark side things. But with the dark side inherently comes the desire for power and to destroy your enemies. That's basically the whole dark side-ness. So I think a better story maybe should have involved having a dark side user away from the Jedi, maybe not even involve the Jedi, and just have it set off in some far distant planet where the Jedi don't really have a reach or influence, and just show that what the dark side is like without the Jedi there. What sort of power do they try and gain for themselves? Because with the Jedi here, it makes it very difficult to try and justify why this guy should exist, because it's a very bad thing and we know where the Sith will eventually lead. And then we have May, who a little disappointed with what she's been getting through in this episode, and it's just the way it's the flip-flopping, and it's just kind of annoying, because episode 3 we basically get confirmation that she's a psychopath, where she tried to burn down her place, tried to kill her sister with fire. That is what she tried to do. She threatened that she wouldn't let her sister leave and she would kill her, and then she started a fire in the intent to kill her. That is psychopathic. Then in episode 4 we had a bit more levity from her, where she was trying to escape with the Master. She was afraid for her life, trying to draw sympathy to the character, which doesn't work when she's a psychopath. No one's going to feel sympathy for a psychopath. So I don't understand why they were trying to do that there. And now it seems like they've gone back full swing into her being evil, and it doesn't seem like she's really thinking about Osha. I get that her motivation now is probably to try and kill Saul, to expose his lies to Osha in an attempt to unbrainwash her. That's what she's doing. Yet she left Osha with the guy that was trying to kill her. So that does not seem very smart, and she basically abandoned her sister on that planet and did not think about her welfare whatsoever. And it's annoying that they try and show... I just wish they would stick to one. Either make her a sympathetic villain or make her full-on psychopath. And right now, they're trying to conflate the two, which just doesn't work. You cannot feel sympathy for a psychopath. Yeah, then for Saul, I'm a little annoyed with him in this episode, honestly. For the entirety of this show, it's shown how powerful he is in the Force and just his ability to sense things. It's awesome how he can sense things. He can sense the Wookiee Jedi when they first landed on the planet. Yet now, he can't sense that this is not his Padawan, but the twin sister. He knows that there's a twin sister out there. He knows that they were just together, yet for some reason he can't sense that this one is a whole lot darker than his former Padawan. I mean, I just wish that they twisted it around and made it think, oh no, he did know who it was. He was just playing along to try and show us some light side, but he didn't. It was basically all that time it was May pretending to be Osha, having that work just so that Saul would confess to his crimes. It just seems out of character from what they set up. Yes, they try and explain it with how he couldn't see Kymir's darker side because he was busy focusing on something else. You can try and use that, but something that is very black and white, is light and dark, should be very evident when you sense it. You should be able, when you can feel if something's hot or cold, you can very much instantly tell. You don't have to wait and try and figure out what's going on there. You can tell it's hot or cold. That is what I would assume sensing the light and dark would be like. So having it be that he's confused, not really, he's got his mind somewhere else, just feels wrong in that way, because it feels like there's something that's so obvious and so powerful that it's hard to miss that. Then we got our first proper kind of look at Vanestra in action, because now I know that she's a very powerful Jedi in a very powerful sort of position, and now we've gotten to see her weird lightsaber. So I'm hoping that that isn't the last of it, because I'm in the mindset now that's cool. I want to see a fight scene with it just to see how that would actually work, because it does seem like an insane type of weapon, and it's kind of something I would love for them to just continue doing. Make a bunch of weird lightsaber weapons that so many different Jedi can use. But yeah, it's just in her side of the story, it's difficult because this basically confirms that there is a Sith or dark side wielder now in the universe, when back in the prequel trilogy they thought they were extinct for millions of years. So that is tricky. From this, they've easily gathered that it was a powerful Force wielder who killed all these Jedi with a lightsaber. So you know it's someone powerful in the Force with a lightsaber, and they're now thinking either it's Saul, who's turned to the dark, making him a dark Jedi Sith sort of thing, or it's an actual dark side user aside from that, a Sith. So there's only two options, which they should be both considering, and to not report this to like the main Jedi and that get it out there seems odd, and it seems difficult to try and connect that with what the prequel trilogy established. I don't know, I think I'm just very interested to see how that does work itself out, if it can, because we basically have confirmation that this guy is a Sith, and that now Jedi know about him. Yes, it's a little tricky about how words getting around, but it's still there, and it'll be, yeah, I don't know, it should be. I seem like things are going in the direction of people finding out. Vanessa at this point knows she's high up, she's not really in any danger, there's not really any problem with her getting this information back. So, yeah, I'm interested to see how it gets resolved. But yeah, then the structure of this episode. Again, it's a bit iffy. I think I would have preferred it if this episode just fully focused on Osha and Chimera, because the May and Soul storyline, that set up something interesting, but it failed to do it, really. It undermined Soul's character, and it was a very conflated story. How, like, you have the ship's power go out, the little mole thing can realise that it's the wrong twin, that thing decides to attack her instead of going to Soul to give him the information, then it runs back after it's dismantled power and failed to fight her, and then it does eventually tell Soul. That just seems very conflated and just weird. It would have saved so much time, just get it outright, tell it, or don't do that story, instead focus on a story about Soul trying to reach out to May. He realises it's May, but he pretends not to know, and he uses the opportunity to reach out and to try and show her the light. That would have mirrored quite well with what Chimera is trying to do with Osha, and that I think would have made for a better episode. Having this story alongside the Osha's side of it does not work, and it really makes it clear that one side was a lot more interesting than the other. Now, the perspectives is something that's been made very clear now to me, that this show is trying to offer different perspectives of the Force, of the universe, than the typical Jedi one that we have come to know. The problem is that the show is set from Osha's perspective, and it's going, and that very aligns with what the audience already knows. Jedi basically good, everything else that is dark side is basically evil. That is Osha's understanding. But the way the show has been written is that they haven't seen it that way. They try and show all these good perspectives of the alternative of the light, yet from Osha's perspective, it doesn't seem that way. And it's just a very tricky sort of mess to navigate there. And it's especially more tricky when Osha herself hasn't been that built, so we can't get a full understanding of her perspective on everything, but we're just seeing the actions of these other people on her and who she's around. That immediately makes them look bad. No matter what their philosophies or ideals or origins are, their actions are against the person we're seeing the story through are making them look bad. So trying to look at it from the perspectives of others doesn't quite help things, because the show is set from the perspective of Osha. It's very clear that the writer knows what the story they're trying to tell. They know it inside and out, that's very clear. But it's not clear that they understand how to present this story in the way for the audience. And I kind of understand this quite well, because one of my things when at uni doing architecture is I come up with a project, and I've got to then explain it to my peers and a critic and all of that. And one of my comments I got last time is that I understand my project very well, but I struggle in trying to explain it to others. And that is what is basically happening here. The writer knows their story, but they aren't structuring it that well to actually have the audience understand it the way they're understanding it. And that's my problem with it so far. But yeah, overall, this episode is better than, this is probably one of the best episodes this show has done, I will say that. But then that is a low bar to reach. I'm hoping it still gets better though, because it seems like it could be picking up pace now if it continues on this sort of track. But there were still so many issues with this episode, like how easy it seems that Osha is coming around to the dark side when this guy literally murdered all her friends. I wouldn't say friends, because we're not really attached to them. But all these people, he murdered completely in front of her, and this guy, and you got May going after Soul and all of this, and you can see some of her convictions where she was going to throw her sister in prison for what she did, because she knows that what her sister did is wrong, yet this guy seems to be open to learning from. So that, if she was more open to letting her sister go, this would explain where she's at the minute. But she wasn't, so it's very iffy. But yeah, aside from the issues, this episode was one of the better ones, hoping it does continue to improve now. You've got 2 episodes left of the show. I'm getting some more enjoyment out of it now that the villain is here and he's doing more things, but still there's a lot of flaws and it's a very tricky mess to try and navigate. But yeah, with that said, that does bring me to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one for episode 7. See ya!